Hello and welcome to the Winter Solstice Holiday Celebration.
Hot diggity, it is that festive time of year. We're here with lots of holiday cheer. Dog, you gotta stop. I'm sorry. We got special surprises all around today. I got all kinds of treats. This is our second. We did it for the very first episode. We did like a live watch party, and now for our season finale this year, we're ending it with a live Zoom party. And we're so grateful for all of our friends that are here hanging out tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Today, we're going to be going over some really awesome smells, some crafts, and some group cheers. So, jumping into it, if you have a cup and you'd like to take a sip of that community kindness, we encourage you to raise it with us, set an intention, and we'll all clink together. Cheers.
Cheers. That's delicious. Okay, so let's jump right in. First things first, let's make some smells and set some intentions. So we'd like to make a Winter Solstice Simmer Pot. Oh, hello, little one. We'd like to make a Winter Solstice Simmer Pot. And for that, we're going to need citrus, spices, water, pot, and a heat source. So first on the agenda, we'll do an orange. So you just want to slice up your orange into little slices. Oh, just a second. There we go. And slice it up into little slices and then add it to your pot. Just a few is fine. And we're adding the orange to the pot for the intention of luck, in love, and in money. So all things we really enjoy. So I'll just put them in there like that, maybe a little around the edge. Great. Next, we can add some lemon. So slice up your lemons real nice. Lemons will add to the pot for the intention of pure love and friendship and longevity. Woo, it's a juicy one. That's good. Just a couple of lemon slices right in there like that. And then for some protection and success, toss in a cinnamon, maybe two, just because they're nice. And then I added two of my favorite spices, which is cloves and star anise. So for cloves, these are great for protection for your money and for love. So I'm just going to do a good sprinkle in of cloves in there. You can never have too much cloves, right? And then last but not least, my very best favorite, star anise for some luck. Oh, just kidding. The last is actually going to be some pine branches. I foraged these over in the Crystal Canyon and I made sure to thank the tree when we took them. Manolo actually helped me the other day. And so we'll sprinkle in some pine, say thank you, pine tree. And pine, we'll put in the intention for money, yeah, for a little bit extra protection and money. And then we hydrate. Always important to hydrate. Water here, and I'm just gonna pour it in until everything's nice and covered. Not too much, not too little. Just pour it till it feels right. And you'll turn on your simmer pot, low, medium, low. Just want to get it simmering, not really boiling. And it'll begin to fill your home with delicious, delicious smells. Smells like the holidays. And so hopefully, if you are following along, you'll have the smells in your home from mine, and we can all share in the smell together. Like smell-o-vision. So as I can smell the citrus already, and we'll just let it get cooking. And as it's cooking, I think I'll turn it over to you, Ange. You can tell us about some holiday history.
Absolutely. I loved your whole list of ingredients and their meanings. I just wanted to tell you. And it is one of my favorite childhood memories, smelling simmer pots at home. So this was super cool.
Oh,
Another fun treat that my mom used to like to do was to dry out those apples, lemons, oranges, and then give them away in little mason jars so people could like make them their own. So if you need like ideas for easy takeaway holiday gift, you can share it in your own kitchen or spread it around too.
I love that.
Right? So I wanted to chat a little bit about the legend of Santa Claus and how it deeply ties to that of mushrooms. I am wearing for show this awesome dress from plethораplus.com. My friend Miranda creates these incredible designs, and I am so honored to get to rep her brand today. And the fun thing about this Amanita dress is that I'm about to talk all about Amanita mushrooms, one of my favorite topics. So the legend of Santa Claus comes way before it was commercialized. It originally came from Nordic countries, and in this religion, Arctic shamans would dress up in traditional furs and warm ceremonies to take these psychedelic mushrooms. When they would eat them on solstice celebrations, with the red mushrooms with the white spots, they would see all sorts of hallucinations and these visions. They would go on vision quests, and it was a really exciting time. The reindeer played in because they actually had to use the reindeer to eat the mushroom and then collect the reindeer's pee and then be able to drink it, because the amanita mushroom in the raw is toxic to humans. So don't go out and just like pick one and start eating and trying to see Santa Claus. Like, you'll die. You have to go through another animal source or you have to purify it somehow. So that was how Nordic shamans would do it. And so people would enjoy these magical experiences with the community nature around the solstice. And even in the night sky, they could see the northern lights in certain places. And so it was like a very magical time. And they really felt they were connecting with spirits. Later on down the line, people took the idea of red and white from the amanita mushroom and incorporated it into Christmas time, where it now becomes a huge pivotal part of the decorations and like the theme of when it comes to mind. So just like how Santa enters the chimney, Arctic shamans typically enter their snow-blocked homes through an opening in the roof. This is where we get the tradition of Santa Claus coming down the chimney at the holiday times. Very interesting how Christian tradition based in other people and what would be considered pagan aspects. So it's easy to see, like I said, with the reindeer, they were connected to them as well. Not only did they use them to purify the mushrooms so that they were able to take them, but they were also recognized as spirit animals to the shamans. So under the influence of the magic mushroom, it's easy to see how the shamans could see the reindeer flying through the sky. And these stories of these magical reindeer flying around became traditions that were passed around the entire world. So there's another interesting, last one I'm going to talk about is this connection between gift giving and mushrooms at Christmas time. Most people put an evergreen tree inside their home to mark the holiday, and gifts are wrapped and placed underneath the tree. Well, the fun thing about the evergreen tree is that that's where Amanitas mushrooms are easy to find. So the gifts under the tree, the presents actually represent the mushrooms, and that is where that little tradition came from that were growing at the bottom of the tree. Is it a coincidence that people leave their red and white presents underneath their pine trees at Christmas time? I think it literally owes back to the very beginning roots of it. So this year, as we honor the history of Nordic shamans at Christmas time, I encourage you to make something creative, maybe a mushroom-shaped ornament, or share the story that I shared with you about the traditional history of mushrooms and Christmas. Whatever you believe in, I hope you have the happiest of holidays.
Oh, I love it. I love it knowing the mushroom ties to it. That reminds me of one of my favorite pagan holiday traditions to romanticize around this time of year. And, and that is the Roman celebration of Saturnalia. This is a true celebration of liberation and a little mayhem. So this was something that was celebrated in ancient Rome before, the Catholic overtaking of the Roman Empire. It was adopted from Greek traditions. So you might know the Greek god of Kronos. Well, adapted the Greek god of Kronos to be the equivalent god of the harvest in Roman times. And so it was the celebrating of the final harvest at this time of year. And it was a week-long celebration leading up to the winter solstice, which is usually around December 21st. And during this time, it's kind of, you could consider it like a naughty Christmas, because people would have feasts and get drunk and maybe have an orgy or two, you know how the Romans do. And there were games and gambling and all sorts of colorful clothes and costumes and just a whole bunch of mayhem and chaos. There was even a tradition of the Lord of Misrule, which kind of pokes fun at the ridiculousness of having an emperor or a king. And so during this time, the Lord of Misrule would be nominated, and it could be any person of any stature, and they would be crowned and carried around the town, and they could tell anyone to do anything, with the catch that it had to be silly, like, you there, give her a piggyback ride around the thing, or just do silly things. It was the Lord of Misrule, all funny. Sounds like a real hell of a party, if you ask me. And what I find to be really, really awesome about this type of holiday is that everybody had a seat at the table. It didn't matter your social stature. It didn't matter if you were a master or slave, or if you were in poverty. Actually, it was really common for the masters and like the royalty to serve the slaves and the unimpoverished people their meal at the table. So it was an opportunity for everyone to come together, to be equal, and to celebrate the final harvest, to celebrate the coming next year, and to just enjoy each other. It was a fun time for equality for everyone. So in the celebration of the god Saturn, then in ancient Rome, they celebrated Saturnalia. And this then got adapted to Christmas, because who would want to get rid of this holiday, right? With the gift giving and the feasting and the drinking, which are things that we all commonly do around this time of year. So part of me wishes that that tradition would have lingered, because how fun would it be? Imagine like Mardi Gras, but for like a whole week for the whole country. Please get down. Thank you. Sorry.
Some of us just call that last Friday. I'm just kidding.
Last Friday.
The Lord of naughty and mischief. Well, speaking of naughty mischief, that actually quite takes a tie into our next present for you all. I am so excited to show off my special take on the Netherlands Christmas tradition. Rowan, sit. He's so big now. He just doesn't sit no more. Of the Marilude.
The Marilude.
In case you're listening in on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you download your podcast and listen to us in from, behind me, the visual description is a bull skull that is covered in white lace with a bunch of beautiful pink ribbons tied to it. So traditionally in the Netherlands, it is used with a horse skull. I do not have a horse skull. I do have a Christmas tree behind me that has a coyote, a deer, a raccoon, a cat, and a squirrel, also a bull, but no horse yet in my skull collection. So we had to go with what we know. And so what we know was this. I put on the traditional garb and dressed him up all pretty, because just like Saturnalia, everyone is equal here. You can be a bull and wear pink bows too. So what this tradition is that it happens around December 31st all the way to January 13th, and a battle of 6 to 7 people will come toting this decorated, adorned horse skull to your door, and they knock on it. And when they do, they start to sing the traditions of Wesseling folk custom of their folk songs. And this is a celebration that celebrates Epiphany. So it's the aftercoming of like the birth of Jesus. And so hidden underneath this stacked cloth adorned by lace and ribbons is the skull of the Mari Lwyd. And the Mari Lwyd comes up to the door and they knock on the door, and then they begin a rap battle with everyone inside. And all 6 people on the outside will be like, wait. No, it's too heavy. I was gonna hold it up and try to do it, but honestly, it's very heavy. It's probably why it's usually a guy that holds the Mari Lwyd. Well, they rap battle everyone inside. When they finally give up, they gain entry into the home, and they go in and they ransack it. And they get to have whatever food and drink they want, and they party with the people inside. The Mari Lwyd usually chases the women around the couch 3 times to represent good fertility and prosperity for the family for the following year. And then the Mari Lwyd will chase the children around to teach them to listen to their parents. And it will like scream like, you need to be good to your parents at them. So that to me in itself is like probably the best part of the tradition, is that you can like use it as leverage all year, where you're like, Santa Claus, no, Mari's coming. So that is the story of Mari Lwyd. It's a beautiful Welsh tradition, and now they have Mari Lwyd Festival every year, where people from all over the world come and they decorate their skulls, and they make this giant parade through the 13 days of the Epiphany. So if you are in the Netherlands during that time, it'll probably be a really cool New Year's.
Yeah, I bet it would be. Skulls all over. You would probably love it.
It's my dream New Year's Eve celebration.
That is so cool.
Rap battles and dead things, my favorite.
Speaking of New Year's Eve and the changing of the seasons and bringing in a new year, it's the perfect segue to our next segment of setting our intentions for the new year with a nice stuffed pine cone. Have you touched it already? Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I love
Martha
it.
Stewarted it. I Martha Stewarted it earlier, and I brought it in sections so we could explain the process. But like it's already done, so it'll be like a little fast. But like yes,
That's
so
great.
Let me grab the other 2 things. And do you want to explain what this pine cone is and what it does?
Yeah, that's great. It's like we have a cooking show and you have the finished product and I have the ingredients. So you know how they're like, this is what we're making and here's all the muck. Here's all the muck. So this is a wishing cone that we'd like to make together with you guys, where you can set your wish intentions or your wishes for the next year. And what you do is write them on a piece of paper and then you shove them in the pine. And what we're going to do is make this all together. So for whatever you'd like to manifest in the next year, I'll write down, and then we can shove them into the pine cone. And then on the winter solstice, which is, if you remember from our summer solstice episode, back in the summer, the winter solstice is the longest night, the shortest day up here in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it would then be the summer solstice happening, and they're having the longest day while we're having the time of darkness. So to mark this transition point and to set some intentions for the upcoming year, we'd love to stuff these pine cones together with you. And then on the winter solstice, which is December 21st, next Tuesday, I think. Days are hard. We'll get there. We will live stream burn them, because burning things is fun. And how else do you release your intentions to the universe if not by burning them, right?
Right? We're gonna start you off with a fiery bang.
Yeah. And would you like to share some of the things you put in there? Maybe pull one out just as an example, or is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
So
love it.
Go ahead, Alex. So you can like write your intentions like that, and you're gonna cut them up into like these. Okay. So what I did on mine was I sat down earlier and I had a little meditation with myself, and I'd been having kind of a rough day, as my Snapchat to my friends would incur. But even when we have the roughest days, I think those are the most important days to set intentions, because that's when you're really at your rawest, and it's a great time to connect, right? So something that I want to welcome into the new year is the feeling of feeling balanced and loved. And so I write that down, and I like put it, I'm going to roll it up. And as I roll it up, I like to seal the intention inside it. And so I just kind of like spiral it and then I give it a little kiss. And then I take my pine cone and I'm going to slip it right inside. Here we go. Give it a home right there. So meanwhile, on your pot, or if you have a simmer pot, or maybe you have a big older candle such as this. This was actually my secret weapon today, was a candle that had maybe about this much wax left in it. So one really good light, right? I lit it up, got it really hot. Once it was burning, I had used the wax to pour over and do the first layer of my candle to seal it in. So that's one way you could do it, is if you don't have a pot at home, you could use an actual candle and just use a spoon and spoon the wax right onto your candle. You can also, if you have a professional candle making set, you can do this. If you want to go run up to your local craft store, they sell wax. You can heat it down really easily and be able to dip your candle in that way. The other trick I did before I added my paper, though, I want to mention, is I first took the pine cone. Oh, I left it in the other room. And I wrapped my candle wick around it throughout the whole pine cone.
Nice.
That way I made it into a candle from the very beginning. It has the base on the bottom.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah. So I'm going to go grab one more from my craft room and I'll do the example on this one. Do you have that as well?
I have wick and all of that, but not in a place that's accessible now.
Okay.
So I will add it later for this one, this group one. It had the little bell. In the meantime, while you go get yours, we can write down some intentions and some wishes and shove them in the pine cone. So if anybody that's here today, if there's anything you'd like me to write down and add for you, I'll put it on my paper and do the thing. I know I'll start it off. I'd love to, I'll put, I really like that balance idea. So I'm going to put balance. And I'll just rip it up. And if you guys have anything you want to add, feel free to unmute yourself or write it in the chat, whatever you prefer. If you want to add any wishes to the solstice pine cone. We're gonna roll it on up. We're rolling.
Did you come in and say hi, special guest?
And we're gonna shove it on in. Great.
We have another special guest coming in for
special
history's
guest.
sake. It's
For history's
Andy.
sake.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Andy.
Hi.
Now on this night of nights, all four of us were together.
Would you like to add anything to the pine cone?
Do you have an intention you'd like to set for next year?
Yeah. Do I just like say it out loud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like for life to have like more of like a building rhythm, and then I don't know. Yeah.
Life to build more rhythm.
Yes.
Building rhythm. I love it. Putting it in the pine cone. Putting it in the pine cone. I don't know where that song is.
In the pine cone to burn on. Okay, so if you also, when you're at the craft store grabbing your wax, go in the candle aisle and you can grab your candle wicks, right? They're like $2 a pack. You grab it and you start with it on the bottom right here, and you just take it and you're just gonna like snake it through the pine cone, going all the way up. Oh, actually, I guess just start lower. If the pine cone is not open, you might want to start like where it has like its first opening when you want to weave it in, so that way you can get kind of close to it, and then you literally just like weave up. And then it looks really cute because afterwards, when you dip it in the wax, you can have this stand up on its own, and this is actually gonna now turn into a little candle.
So cute. I love it. Speaking of love, let's put some love in the pine cone.
Speaking of pine cones, if you get pine cone resin on your hands while doing this craft, I have found today that the best way to get it off is to use rubbing alcohol. Resin, no matter what form, hates alcohol.
Yes. Yes. Would you like to know why that is? So resin is it's a lipid. It's a fat soluble molecule, which is similarly think of like resin, like you can get stuff from maybe your cannabis, and cannabis is also a fat soluble molecule. Anywho, but alcohol is not. It is the opposite. It would be a very, so that lipid would be very hydrophobic, and and alcohol would be very hydrophilic, and it just separates it all up. Yep. Thanks, Dwayne. I'm sure. Okay, let's see. What else should we put in our pine cone? What do we want to bring in with the next new year? Oops. How about some peace? With these two crazy kitties over here jumping and playing all the time, sometimes it doesn't feel very peaceful around here. So I'd like some peace.
How about some protection for all of us and our friends?
Oh, I love that. That's a great idea. Protection. I don't know if how are y'all simmer pots going? Because mine is smelling good, so good. Health, no more Rona. That's right.
Thank you, Wayne. Amy, tune in and shout us out one. I don't know if I should. Yeah, do it. Reoccurring abundance with harm to none. I love it.
Love it.
But now it didn't make me call them out. Good luck for our upcoming scientific publications. That's right.
Yes.
How about good luck also, put a different one, on all our business endeavors this year.
Yes.
So for sake of crafting, I should have started a while ago, but I have lit that old candle and I'm gonna have it start heating up right now. If I had like a melting or Bunsen, I don't know, that thing you have.
Plate.
Hot plate. Yeah, that would be like the smartest. If I could like put the candle, like the old candle on the hot plate so that you could just dunk it a bunch, that would probably be like the fastest way to do it.
All right. So let's see. For health, right here, we're gonna rolling on up to the pine cone.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna add one. I'm adding more kindness coven this year. I loved the awesome event that you just threw this past Saturday. That was so cool in Dallas. Do you want to speak about it for a second? You're welcome. It was amazing.
Yeah. This past Saturday, I organized a thing called the Empress Exchange, which was a clothing exchange and food drive charity event. And so it was really, really fun. It was really awesome. We had a great turnout, and we cleaned out our closet and our spaces and brought all of our clothes to share and exchange. And then donated all of the leftovers to Out of the Closet, which is a thrift store in Dallas that donates 96 cents on the dollar of all of its proceeds to HIV testing and HIV medication. As well, and then we split the clothes. The other half went to Fort Worth to Very Good Vibes, which helps women escape domestic violence. And then all the canned goods we collected went to the North Texas Food Bank, which funds helps support over 1,000 different food pantries in 13 different counties. And because 1 in 6 people in North Texas are food insecure, it was such a treat, and I really enjoyed putting it together. And I would love to be able to continue to do this more frequently and create all sorts of other events from the Kindness Coven. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak on it. It was really rewarding. Oh, and I got to lead a group meditation in person, which is rare, which was one of my intentions from the summer solstice episode, if you remember, was to finish my course. And I am 96% of the way done. And the group meditation in person was one of the last things. And I just need to upload the recording for my final grade. And then once I do that, I will be a certified meditation and mindfulness teacher. So Good luck on our scientific endeavors. That gets 2 kisses. And then good luck for our business ventures. Ooh, my simmer pot is simmering.
The smell is so good.
Yeah, it is. Okay, and good luck on all of our business endeavors. 2 kisses for that one too. We will succeed. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else? Did I miss anybody? Want to check the chat? Yeah. Okay. All right. Last call for any New Year's, new solstice, new you. Oops. Sorry, y'all. Darkness again. I'm back. All right. Last call. Would anyone else like to add some intentions to the wishing cone? All right.
Seal them on up.
Okay. Let's see. I've got some candles going, so but I only have.
Perfect. So you can do the example on your side because I got the finished product.
Yeah. Let me go grab a spoon.
Oh, another thing that I learned, I didn't have a chance to grab it yet, but if you have a handy amount, I was a 90s kid, I don't know if anybody can relate, but my mom used to make dough ornaments where she would add cinnamon and like allspice to them, and she would like dip them in there and like hang on the tree, and they would smell like so good. And that smell always reminds me of Christmas. When the wax, I read online that when the wax is still hot, you can sprinkle the incense over it and it'll make it smell really good. Oh, I do. I want to do that right now. I have a gift from my birthday that I'm so grateful for.
All right, so I've got this little candle going here. Oopsie. And we're just gonna spoon it over. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. Spoon it. You know what? I'm making a mess. I'm gonna move this closer to me. There we go. So, and then scoop and spoon. So if anyone would like to do this at home, make their own too. It's quite fun, quite satisfying. I'm so grateful that y'all are here and to have made this pine cone together with you. This is really just such a treat. I really, it's so wonderful to be here and to connect with you guys. Especially that's how we started with our episode 1. We had our live episode viewing, but now being here all together, creating it together is so much better. And I just have so much gratitude and love in my heart for you guys. It's ridiculous. Okay, well, that's enough before I cry.
No, it's good. It's really awesome, and we do want to say thank you because from the bottom of our hearts, this was an idea and a passion project for both of us that has turned into such a cool adventure this year that has brought us and so many friends together, and we just can't wait to grow it. And so thank you for celebrating the end of the year with us and setting some intentions as we go into the next round of what will be. I want to say a shout out to my good friend Danny, who had blessed me. She is an indigenous to Michigan. She had blessed me with some really beautiful herbs. There's lavender, sage, chamomile. I think mugwort is in here as well. And so I have added all of the sacred herbs to my pine cone. I'm going to dip it one more time in the wax to seal it all in there when I go to burn it at the end of the year. So you can make it smell good. You can fill it with sparkles. If you have glitter at home, make it pretty, hang it on your tree. You could rub it with sacred herbs or perhaps sacred incense or oceans if you have it. So feel free to get creative and add your own magic, however you feel so called. Because there is no wrong way to celebrate and to connect with our beautiful planet.
Right.
Your pine cone looks great. I love that red.
Thank you. I'm making such a mess. There's wax on my table, on my pen, on my phone, on my lap. But I'm glad it looks good.
I was like foolishly trying to do this earlier. I understand.
Good. All right. Well, it's not the bell. Oh well. Okay, y'all.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, that's it. We're down to the very last part. This is crazy. So I guess as always, you guys can catch us on Spotify or watch us on YouTube. And we want to thank you all. Well, oh shoot, I messed it up. We want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for sharing this wonderful time and space with us. We really, really appreciate you guys all. Like we said, if you wouldn't mind giving us a special holiday gift of a like and share on social media, maybe if you have a friend that this resonates with and you want to share this with them, we would love to have them listen in and connect with us and join us in our quests. We have a wonderful page, which is In Pursuit of Science, on Facebook and Instagram. And then we also have the Coven of Kindness page, where we share our quests and little adventures that we're doing. And I always post a lot of dank memes, and we love to connect with everybody. So we love you, Kindness Coven. I guess we'll see you next year for round 2.
We'll see you next year. Maybe I'll update my technology.
I like literally have had this blush, like this horrible big blush on my face the entire like episode. It's just been like from how much I love you guys, and I really appreciate it. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys so much from the bottom of our hearts. I love you all so very much. Okay, well,
Shall we?
let's do it. We who seek
In the laboratory and in the wild, lead lives full of passion, curiosity, and purpose.
guided by earth-centered hearts and critically observant intellect.
Unified as a community, we learn.
We propose our hypotheses as proudly as we are humble, expecting to be challenged with no bias in our favor.
We cast our intentions to infinitely expand our understanding.
Celebrating diversity within all of our webs.
Collectively leading with a powerful and gentle kindness. We
are witches,
in
pursuit of
We'll
science.
never do it together.
Thank you guys. We love
Bring
you.
me next year. Thanks.